Okay, we need to talk, because something just isn't adding up here. Every time Justin and Hailey Bieber step out in public, it's like we're watching an ongoing reality show. But the latest twist? It's starting to feel way too staged. Like, are they really getting caught by paparazzi? Or are they inviting them? I mean, let's look at the pattern. Every time Justin looks like he's hanging on by a thread, head down, hoodie up, barely functioning, it just so happens that the cameras are rolling. And who's always looking perfectly polished and oddly composed right next to him? Yeah, Hailey. Now, I'm not saying she's calling the paparazzi, but I'm also not saying she's not calling the paparazzi. You feel me? People are starting to wonder, are these random sightings really random? Or is there a playbook behind the scenes? We've seen footage, real video clips, where she's not just walking past photographers, she's directing them, telling them where to stand, where to shoot, like it's her own personal red carpet moment while Justin can barely keep it together. The optics? Not great. And here's where it gets even messier. If your man is clearly going through something, physically, emotionally, mentally, why would you want to parade that in front of cameras? Unless, maybe it's not about protecting him. Maybe it's about positioning yourself. Maybe it's about crafting an image. One where you're the stable one, the strong one, the one holding it all together. And let's be honest, these two have been photographed more during their supposed rough patch than ever before. Coincidence? Let's not forget the fact that Justin is practically mute in public. He's not giving interviews, he's not posting much. He looks zoned out, disconnected. Meanwhile, Hailey is out here launching brands, attending events, looking camera ready, and making sure the press sees every moment. Together. The question isn't just why this is happening, it's why now. Is it a deflection? Is it damage control? Is it planting seeds for something bigger down the line? Because if they're really working through issues, and let's be real, the tension is screaming through their body language, you'd think privacy would be the move. But no, it's Cold Stone Creamery in LA. It's coordinated strolls with paparazzi in tow. It's all too on the nose to be accidental. Whatever's going on, it's clear. This isn't just a couple grabbing ice cream. This is a narrative, a strategy. And whether it's intentional or not, the world is watching. People are noticing something, and not just fans, but everyone watching from the sidelines. Justin Bieber is way too chill about his relationship with drugs. And when I say chill, I mean posting it, sharing it, and not hiding it in the slightest. Now let's be fair, marijuana is legal in a lot of places. This isn't about whether he's breaking the law, but the question here is bigger than that. It's about how he's presenting himself, how he's being seen in public, and whether or not this laid-back attitude toward weed is masking something deeper. Because lately, Justin hasn't just seemed relaxed. He's seemed checked out. Slurred words in videos, glassy eyes on Instagram Live, long silent pauses in interviews. And then you pair that with the fact he's been spotted with what looks like a joint in hand multiple times. It's hard not to wonder, is this recreational or is it coping? And it gets even more complicated when people start talking about custody and conservatorship. Because if, and we're just speculating here, if things between him and Hailey ever did go south, every single one of these moments becomes a potential legal weapon. Screenshots, videos, public displays, it's all evidence now. And let's not forget, he's talked about this before. Justin's been open about past struggles with pills, lean, Xanax. He's not a stranger to addiction. He's even admitted that at one point, his security had to check his pulse at night to make sure he was still breathing. Like, that's serious? So when you've got that history, and then you're publicly smoking on camera, not even trying to hide it, it doesn't just raise eyebrows, it rings alarm bells. Now, could it just be weed? Sure. Could it be part of a larger mental health journey? Also possible. But the reality is, when someone has a past that dark and they start slipping back into old patterns, it's usually not just weed for long. That's the scary part. And let's be real, Justin doesn't look well. He's not performing, he's not recording, he's not touring. His brand deals are fading. He's living low-key and not in the peaceful Zen way. More like the I'm avoiding the world because I can't deal kind of way. Add that to a partner who's thriving in the spotlight and publicly separating herself from his darker moments. And suddenly, his drug use isn't just about health. It's about image. It's about power. It's about how this could all play out if a breakup ever goes public. Because if she walks away, she doesn't leave empty-handed. She leaves with a public history of everything he's put online, everything the world has seen. And every puff, every blurry-eyed video, every Instagram Live could be Exhibit A. So no, this isn't about whether someone can smoke weed. This is about a man who's clearly battling something and doing it in plain sight, while the people around him either look away or start building their case. Let's talk about Hailey. Yes, again. Not Hailey the wife, not Hailey the Instagram aesthetic. Let's talk about Hailey the strategist, because whether you love her, hate her, or have no idea why she's always trending, one thing's becoming very clear. Hailey is playing a long game, and it looks a lot less like love and loyalty, and a lot more like legacy building. Behind the selfies and skincare routines, behind the minimalist outfits and curated friend groups, there's a businesswoman making some very intentional moves. And the more you look, the more you realize, this isn't about just being famous. This is about building an empire with her name at the center. Start with the branding. Rhode wasn't just a skincare launch, it was a statement. Simple name, luxury aesthetic, millennial pink meets clinical beige. The kind of branding that screams quiet luxury. And now, she's reportedly shopping it around for $1 billion valuation. 3 years in, and she's calling up global investment firms like JP Morgan. That's not small-time hustle. That's calculated exit strategy. You don't do that unless you're thinking ahead. And you don't think ahead like that unless you're building something that doesn't need to be tied to anyone else's name. Not Bieber, not Baldwin, just Hailey. And then there's the solo PR push. Lately, Hailey's been everywhere. Magazine covers, podcasts, product launches, all under her own name. When she speaks, it's not about her marriage or even her family legacy. It's about her mental health, her brand, her identity, her story. And it's all so controlled, so perfectly filtered. She never overshares, never cracks, never gives the internet anything it can twist. That's not an accident. That's media training. That's message discipline. That's someone who knows the power of perception and uses it like a weapon. What's even more interesting, she's shifting the narrative from celebrity spouse to standalone mogul. And she's doing it quietly, subtly. She's not pulling a rebrand overnight. She's doing it through a slow and steady distancing from the relationship narrative and a laser focus on Hailey Inc. She's making herself a brand that stands even if the relationship doesn't. And it's not just the beauty line. There's whispers about future fashion ventures, wellness collabs, production deals. She's positioning herself as part of that new class of modern celebrity entrepreneurs, people who use fame to leverage equity, not just sell products. And here's the kicker. She's doing it all without scandal. No meltdowns, no major feuds, no PR disasters. That's impressive in an industry where one wrong Instagram story can implode a career. So when people ask, what's Hailey's role in all this? Maybe it's less about the relationship drama and more about who she becomes after it. So let me ask you something. If your relationship is in chaos, is Cold Stone Creamery really the first place you run to? Or is that just where you go when you want to be seen? Because that's exactly what happened recently. Justin and Hailey were spotted out in Los Angeles grabbing ice cream like it's a cozy summer date in a rom-com. But this wasn't just a spontaneous run for a scoop of cookie dough. No. This was textbook visibility. Here's the scene. They walk into Cold Stone, Hailey perfectly dressed, as always. Justin in oversized everything, and they're not alone. Lori Harvey was with them. Yep, Steve Harvey's daughter. That's not a background extra. That's a headline co-star. Now tell me this, why does a random trip to a basic chain ice cream shop feel more like a press tour? Because when celebrities of this caliber hang out together in public and make sure there are cameras around, it's never just about dessert. It's about optics. It's about placement. It's about who's with who, where, and when. And this particular trio, it says a lot. First, let's talk about the location. Cold Stone, a place literally swarming with families, fans, and phones. If you wanted privacy, there are 300 other boutique dessert places in LA where you could hide in a VIP booth. But they chose Cold Stone. Middle of the city, public, unfiltered, highly photographable. And the press? Oh, they showed up. Paparazzi photos from that day were everywhere. And it's not like they were caught ducking behind sunglasses. Hailey made eye contact with cameras. Justin, though, head down, barely present. Again, not the focus, just the prop. But here's where it gets interesting. The presence of Lori Harvey. She's not just a socialite. She's a brand. She's got contracts, campaigns, paparazzi strategy down to a science. If you want to send a message that everything's fine, or at least look like you're still socially valuable, you don't just show up with your partner, you show up with a Harvey. And what makes it all feel even more staged? There was no event, no reason, no celebration, just a sudden, casual, curated pop-in at a Cold Stone with a highly photographed trio. That screams run in, but it looks like a rollout. Now, fans picked up on the body language fast. Justin looked detached, borderline checked out. Lori was doing most of the chatting. Hailey was polished, present, and oddly calm. The vibe? Not couples on a cute date. More like a networking brunch disguised as an ice cream run. And that's what makes this particular public appearance feel less spontaneous and more like an image reset. Because what better way to distract from rumors than to show up in a familiar, wholesome setting with someone who knows exactly how to generate positive headlines? It's the oldest trick in the celebrity playbook. Make something look casual so people don't realize it's strategic. But this outing, it wasn't casual, it was calculated. And the most telling part? The person they invited to join them. Because you don't bring Lori Harvey into your photo op unless you're trying to upgrade the narrative. So sure, maybe they were just craving some ice cream. Or maybe they were craving a little rebranding.